All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. I am Charles Fry, president of CNI Solutions.
And I'm Brewster Fomby, as you probably already know,
Uh,
Director of Education for CNI Solution.
Yes, sir. Tonight, we got a special guest in the office with us tonight. We got Mr. Tim Rice from TNR Web Designs, who will be talking a little bit to us about what he does and with his business and how our tonight's title and subject matter will mean the difference between you and your business.
All right. So one of the first things we're going to discuss, everyone, we're going to talk about some of the current events and things that are happening with CNI Solutions around the Huntsville area. And for those of you who are viewing that are in the Huntsville area, hopefully you might be able to become involved in some of these things. So Christmas donations, right? We're going to talk about some Christmas donations. We're involved with an event that we're going to be doing with Robert Bob Harris. You'll probably be able to see it. We're going to share that on the screen with the Bob Harrison Center. Sorry about that. And we've decided that we're going to do a holiday giveaway. We're going to give back to the community there at the Bob Harrison Center. I think what's that date again, Charles?
That's going to be on the 14th of December, Brewster.
14th December. So 14th December, if you're not doing anything, if you want to help us out, come on by or get with myself or Mr. Charles Fry, and we'll go ahead and suit you up, put you in the game. But that's one of the things that we're being involved with. Once again, we're still doing donations. Serenity Funeral Home, I think that is, they're partnering with us with that particular event. We have a list of donations that we're going to share right here. If you're able, we really appreciate anything that you can do for us or for the community. Remember, if you're not serving within this community, serve somewhere in some community. So donation items that are needed that we got a list from that local center. Shaving cream, toothbrushes, and things of that nature. You see the list on the screen. Do a screenshot so you can save that list, or you can go back and view that list again as well. But anything that you can do, and if you want to do monetary donations, that would be great as well. So, and we'll go ahead and take care of those things for you.
All right. So another thing I wanted to remind everybody that we also have Giving Tuesday that's coming up here on November 30th. Giving Tuesday is a world internationally known giving day to nonprofit organizations. It's when they got together and decided, like, hey, the one time out of the year, they wanted to be able to give back to a nonprofit, and CNI Solution is part of Giving Tuesday. So if you would like to donate or be part of Giving Tuesday on the 30th of November, I'm sure you see on our screen, we have PayPal where you can reach us through info@cnisolutions.org. We also have the QR there, and we also have the Cash App at CNI Solutions. But you don't have to wait till the 30th of November to be part of Giving Tuesday. You can start that tonight. All right. So, but that is just something that I think is a wonderful opportunity for those who don't get a chance to donate or support a nonprofit organization throughout the year. Giving Tuesday has helped a lot of organizations, a lot of nonprofit organizations help achieve their goals throughout the year. So again, you can reach us through the Cash App insignia at CNI Solutions or the QR code. You can screenshot that QR code, and you should be able to also press on it once you put it into your photos, and it'll take you to the PayPal app. Or you could just go ahead and just go to your regular PayPal and use the info@cnisolutions.org email address, and that will get us to us. And there's always that old-fashioned way, how we like to say, you can mail that check or money order to 1035 Putnam Drive, Suite F, Huntsville, Alabama, 35816. All right. So tonight's program is a good one, and it's going to help a lot of you all who's got a small business and is trying to get your business off the ground and is trying to understand. And also you all who are part of the community and looking at the Facebooks and looking at the posts and all of that.
One thing we forgot there, Charles. Hey, just as a note, Amazon Smile, right? I know we had a show on Amazon Smile and how you can use that as well, or Smile Amazon, right? But Charles, how can they use that to?
So
donate?
once again, Amazon Smile is also a wonderful, wonderful way of doing donations. It's no cost to you. You basically just go on to Amazon. You go into your profile, and once your profile, you hover over your profile, you'll see a little list come up onto the left-hand side that says charitable supporting organizations, and you click on that, and then from there, just follow the prompts, and then you can go ahead and pick CNI Solutions as one of your charitable organizations. And what Amazon does is they will donate 0.05% of whatever it is that you bought, like just to go towards that charitable donation organization that you chose. So Amazon Smiles is definitely a good way to help support a nonprofit throughout the year. I know I use Amazon Smile. I do. Rooster uses Amazon Smile, and I'm sure Mr. Rice, he's an Amazon Smile user as well. Like this. So Tim, talk to us. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
Okay. Hey guys, Tim Rice. I am the owner of TNR Web Solutions, not TNR Web Designs, by the way.
Okay.
TNR Web Solutions right here in Huntsville. What I do is help small businesses and entrepreneurs grow or establish themselves, really. I help with that as well.
Right.
I do that by helping them grow their websites, their influence online, their reputation online. So I help by building systems for them to communicate better with their audience.
Right.
So basically, I help small business establish themselves and then grow online. That's what we do.
Oh, great. That's great stuff. Great stuff. So we're going to see what Tim does in helping small businesses grow online, how that all coincides with when we're looking at Facebooks and we're looking at YouTubes, and you always see those likes, share, comments. We see those all the time, and I know I'm a hard person to please when I'm watching a video, Bruce. So I don't know about the rest of y'all, but if it doesn't, does something to my soul, I'm not going to hit that like button. But I've soon learned, and I find out the importance of hitting that like button and those shares and comments. Tim, how big of an impact does likes do? What does that do?
Likes have a major impact. They all do. I'd say likes, comments, and shares.
Right.
Let's distinguish between them because they have different values in the sphere, in the internet sphere, right? But I think one keynote to take is that like matters, right? Facebook says a like is the easiest way to share content. So think about that. This is what Facebook says. Not to show my appreciation of content, not to agree with content, but Facebook defines a like as the fastest way to share content. And let me unpack that a bit. Okay. And what they mean by that is your like then says to the algorithms that Facebook uses, it's called edge rake or something like that. So that algorithm is taking these things, and a like is one of the things that it factors into how it positions things on people's news feeds. So for example, I have, or you have followers in your personal Facebook. Let's not even make it about a business. And you post something on your timeline. On the people who follow you, right? Doesn't necessarily mean they will see that post on their timeline, right?
Right.
It's not an aggregate of everybody you follow and everything they post. That's not what your timeline is. It's not a constant flow of everything. What it does is Facebook takes an algorithm and tries to guess what you want to see, right? It does that by who do you follow? What do they like? Do you guys have things in similar? It puts it towards the top of your timeline and you will see it. There are plenty of posts for people with businesses that CNI, let's take you guys for example, or my business, there's several posts that I post that my followers will never see. It will never make it to their timeline. So that's where the likes, the comments, and shares come in, because you can change that if CNI posts something and let's just pull a wild number. This is not fact by any means, but let's say half the people on your list are liking that or commenting on it. Everybody on your list now will see that in their newsfeed. It will be towards the top. This is important stuff. This is something that they should want to see. So I say all that to say the like is the lowest of currency when we look at likes, shares, and comments, but it is definitely a currency and it's the easiest one. Some stats show that 80%, so let's take engagement, right, as a whole pie. 80% of that engagement will be likes. Only 10% will be shares, 10% will be comments, but 80% of people will like it because it's the easiest thing to do, the less friction, right? But it has value, and just liking something, not just signals I like it, it shares it. It's a best way for Facebook to know, hey, maybe I should show other people this piece of content.
You know, that when I think about that, so from my standpoint, what I do is without having that lesson, I've been watching what appears on my Facebook, even my Google, for instance, right? I went looking for some shoes, and all of a sudden these shoes are popping up on my Google Chrome, you know, and I'm like, wow, I just looked up those shoes. So I understand that there are algorithms out there that are it's not an invasion, but it's marketing. It creates, gathers this information and gets it to the people who are looking to sell their products or gather viewers or get information out to those who have an interest in it. So from a CNI standpoint, one of the reasons why we chose this topic tonight is that with your help, we want to get this information out to as many people as we possibly can. We know that you're busy and some of you are traveling home, no matter where you may be. And as a matter of fact, if you could put in comments if you're out there viewing, where you're viewing from. And if you're not viewing this live, also put in the comments, you know, still, where did you view this particular live from? That for us, that means a lot. So, you know, any little bit helps. So Charles, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that is important. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the program, I was a hard person to give off that like or to give off that comment, but realizing and understanding now the importance after speaking with Mr. Rice and understanding that this is a great avenue for a small business to obtain notoriety. If you do not have that capital to go to the local radio station and put in your radio station ad, or go to the local TV station and put in that TV station ad, your viewers who are looking at your Facebook pages or who are looking at your YouTube channels and putting those likes in there and sharing that content with others like this, that helps them grow to allow them to become that industry standard leader where they can start affording to go to CBS or NBC and want to go ahead and put in a TV ad. So that is very important. And just within this last week, I learned that and I saw the difference that it makes once you start doing that. Like this. So to all you out there, I know some of you all were probably like me, but I'm here to change. And I know if I can change, you all can change. So when you see those videos and you see those Facebook's posts from a business, you know, don't just say, wow, that looks cool and move on. Give them a like and give a good comment on there saying, hey, this is really good stuff that you're doing. Keep up the good work. Or like, hey, you know, I love that. How can I get me some? You know, because I've ran across a lot of you small business owners out there who are cooking, who are doing videography, who are even trying to start web design like Mr. Tim Rice here. I saw all who doing flowers. You know, so now when I see those Facebook posts and those ads on your business pages, I'm going to give you that like. I'm going to give you that share, even though I might not need no flowers, but when I share that with my friends, there could be someone in there who can use that. So that is important. You know, Brewster, what do you feel? How's this going to work when we sharing it? What does that do?
So let me tie, Charles. Let me tie that into our entrepreneurship program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is one of the things we do here at CNI Solutions. Myself and matter of fact, all of us, Charles and as well as Valerie. By the way, we do have a producer that's on here. You can't see her. She's behind the scenes right now, and she's capturing information. Her name is Miss King. She's doing a wonderful job, you know, and she's giving me that face, that eye right now. But our entrepreneurship program that we have, that's one of the things that when it comes to the self-marketing approach, using all of the avenues that are out there, and especially if they're free. Small business, we talk about small business, and some of us think small business. They're the large corporations that are gobbling up, taking over those small, you remember those neighborhood stores. But as small business is making a comeback, when I see a small business and I see that product, if I'm on Facebook and they're doing all they can to survive and to grow their business, I'll look at the product and I'll say, okay, it's worth the like, it's worth the share. And when I share it, I'll try to place a comment also with my share. And it's for you, for all of you out there that are viewing. But our program that we have, it's a 12-week program that we do. We teach it, we have fun. You know, we remember that, hey, I'm the same as you. We're trying to put together a system, an ecosystem to support our community, support our families, and many other great things. So all of this ties in to that, Charles.
Yes.
So I was looking, for instance, Tim, comments. Did you happen to touch on comments and how deep can comments? Well, let me say this. When I think about comments, I think about when I go in a restaurant, for instance, I have a coworker, a friend recently, right? They went to a local establishment. They didn't get what they thought they were getting, and they arrived all the way to their office, right? When they got to the office, they looked in the bag and found out, well, I'm vegan. They put meat on my salad, right? So, well, how powerful are comments when it comes to something like that? Feedback, I guess.
Yeah, there's two things. I want to, that comment about performance or a review left on that particular business's site, I want to separate that from the comments that we're talking like on Facebook, right? So for on Facebook, those comments, just like likes, they carry weight, but they carry more weight. And the reason is a comment takes a little more user action, right? To leave a comment, you actually had to do something. Right. Facebook realizes that and they give more weight to a comment. So just like if you just like a post, just commenting on a post and the algorithm tells Facebook, let me show this to more people. This is more relevant just by a single comment. So I will say that everything I said about likes holds true and more for comments. And while we're at it, we'll just keep going down the line because then we have shares. Okay. Because that is, arguably the heavyweight of this. If you really want to support something, share it on your timeline because that gives the sign to Facebook. One, it also establishes that brand to your audience that may not be there. So it does that too, but just in the perspective and what we're saying about what it does for that piece of content that you shared, it tells Facebook, again, this is really important stuff. So I say they all are currency. Those likes, shares, and comments are currency. Right. I say it's a two-way street for you small businesses out there and for just people in general. Charles, be generous with those likes. Be conscious with those comments. For my small business guys, I'll throw a little tidbit. If you really want to impact yourself, right? I mean, draw people to you. One of the best ways to do it is to comment on other people's things. So you're helping that person because you're commenting, but not just a comment. You put the best, most insightful comment or question you can to other people and just go around the internet spreading that. As a small business yourself, you will see the return tenfold. So not just a comment, oh, this is great stuff. Right. Leave a comment that says, I like this part at this time, but here's my question, or something else. You said this, here's another tidbit to add to that. If you do that and you start putting those things out, again, in a general or in a generosity type of mind frame and a giving, you will get that back. So it works both ways when it comes to these commenting and things. You want people to do that to your content, but a good way to spread that, just like tithing, I don't want to make this a church thing, but just like, sowing seeds, that's a great way to do it. So just for my small business people, a good thing to take away from this is start jumping into comments, but leave an insightful, impactful, thoughtful comment. Do it 10 times a day or so, or just start to do that and you will see the return from people that, because we all know this, we see a post of one of the first things we do. Some people will push play on the video and start reading the comments while it scroll past the videos up there.
Yes,
And they're
yes.
reading the comments.
Yes.
I find myself do. That's where
I
the
do
action
it.
happens, right?
Yes.
It's in the
Yes,
comments.
yes.
So I'm saying that to say, get in the comments because we want to do it for our, we want to support each other. We want to help people, but also it helps yourself. Just as small business people, just keep that nugget.
That is a great point there, Tim, because for a fact, I've read a lot of comments first before I
Absolutely.
actually looked at the video or what they were trying to produce. And one of the things that reminds me of, this doesn't just hold fast to Facebook and YouTube. It's also, you got Google reviews and stuff when you're putting in those Google comments. A lot of times when we go out and we're trying to find a good hotel or a good restaurant, the first thing we do is look at who gave them 5 stars and what did they say?
Absolutely.
Or in my case, I look at who gave them 1 star
Right.
and what did they say?
Exactly.
Like this, because if somebody gave them 1, I want to know why they gave them a 1.
Yep.
Like this, because if it was 5 stars, okay, they're happy, they liked it, they enjoyed it. But why did that 1-star person not enjoy it? Was it the service? Was it the food? Was it the location? Was it, the price that snuck up on them? So that is very important, when you're leaving those comments, especially for a business that you want to support, or if you have a family member who's just starting off on a small business venture like this, and they're showing their content on Facebook like this, just don't look at it and then call them up and say, "Oh, I saw your post. That was nice," or those cars that you did look pretty good, or that food that you cooked looked pretty good, or whatever it is that their business may be. Don't just call them. Go ahead and leave that comment and like and share it with others, because whatever it is that they're doing, myself, Tim, or you, we could probably, benefit from that business. And that's how we begin to create that ecosystem and that economic development within the community.
Right, absolutely. So you mind, I'm gonna branch off for a quick moment, right? And I'm gonna use about a wide awake dream that I have. This wide awake dream that I have is that about the spirit of empowerment, what we can do with all of these support mechanisms that we have. It's just not for a gossip page and things of that nature. The power that we can create with Facebook, the power, the uplifting motivation that we can create with not just with the Twitters alike, but all of those social media outlets. So I charge each one of you, take some time to support, support your community, support the people that you know. They're not just doing it just because they feel like it's all about them. There are a lot of them out there not just supporting their families, they're supporting you and I. So do take a look at it and really put some thought into the like, shares, and the comments that you're posting. There's a lot of content out there that is not necessarily good for tomorrow, Right. And what we at CNI Solutions, and not only that, what Tim is doing, we're building for a greater tomorrow, Right. And it really is about that. We want good neighbors. We want safe places to live. All of that matters. So these likes and shares go a long way. So Tim, what else do you have for us?
Actually, my mind started to change, and maybe this gear shift is difficult. I'm speaking again to my entrepreneurs and my small businesses.
Okay.
That's just where my mind goes. But I was thinking the other side to this coin, as we've pleaded to people and told them the importance of doing those actions, liking and commenting. I want to put some pressure back on my business people, back on my entrepreneurs, and say the task now should be for us as we create content to create likable, shareable content, right? You can't just, I'm not gonna say I make a living, but I have a revenue stream, let's say, in my business where I charge businesses every single day just to help them get Google reviews. That's it. Because it's such a tough thing to do.
Mhm.
And it's so valuable that they pay me well because it helps their business so much to have them. So you were mentioning the Google reviews. If you want to do any business a favor that you know of or like or want to support, find them on Google and leave them a positive 5-star review. There's nothing more you can do for a small business besides patroning that business. But that's nothing more you can do to support that business, to leave them a Google review on their business. So I just want to say that, and then say to my business people, yeah, creating content, make it likable, make it shareable. Think about that, because that is the result you want to get. So don't, if you are a vegan baker out there and all thing you do is post your vegan food, that's all you ever post is promotional material to your people, that's not, you're not going to get so much like and shares. But if you engage and try to really provide some value to the vegan community in your posts, and you sprinkle your promotions in there, but you try to bring the value to that community and you get involved in that, you will go so much further. And you will get those likes and shares. People aren't going to just share your ad to, save 50% on shirts today. That's
Right.
hard to get that shared. But a story about how your shirts are changing something, that can get shared. So just think about that as you create content, business owners.
The power of content. And we ask, even for our viewers here, that's one of the things I think we talked about, Charles, is with those comments, what is it that you want to know what's happening in Huntsville as far as what CNI Solutions are doing or other? Leave some comments as well. Some likes, some shares. We really appreciate that as well. And like Charles mentioned, and as well as Tim, a Google review. So, I hear you talking about a Google review, right? And I'm going to tell you the truth. I really don't, when you say that's one of the best things that you can do is leave a Google review.
Yep.
So can you kind of repeat that? What does that do to a small business, for a small business?
Yeah. So Google has, first of all, Google runs the search market, right? They almost run the internet because of it. Because whenever you go to find something on the internet, you go to Google. They almost took over the word. You Google it, right? Really, what you're doing is searching on the internet. You can use Bing, Yahoo. There's all kind of search engines. That's all Google really is, right? But they run it. So they're the big boys on the block. And what they do for local businesses is they put you in the map. Let's say you guys, someone Google right now, lawn service in wherever you are. I think I see a Pittsburgh. The results are going to come up. You're going to see 3 businesses in the middle of your screen in a map that are listed, and it's going to show you how many reviews they have and what their rating are. And then there's going to be all the rest of the results on the first page of Google. Being on the first page of Google means you're seen. If you're on page 2, maybe. If you're on page 3, you may as well not exist, right?
Right.
So being on page 1 is all that matters. Being in that map, 3-pack, that's great, right? But being on that page 1, and I'm saying all that to say those reviews, any company, small business, especially local focus, that have a lot of Google reviews, especially positive ones, Google will now say, wait, this is a company that I need to put in my map 3-pack, which is great, but definitely a company that needs to be on page 1 of fill in my blank in this area. So that's why those are so important. There's a lot of things you can do to get your website ranked on Google, right? But there's nothing more you can do for your business to get it ranked than to have a lot of positive reviews. So that's why I say that's the most important thing, because if you want to support anyone's small business that's doing it locally, to help them get found on Google, it's changing their business. Literally, you can change their business just by having them found on page 1 versus not found on page 1.
So one of the things that we do here at CNI Solutions, as we teach the entrepreneurial course, and those students graduate and they start their business, we try to keep them energized, stay focused with them, and become part of them as they leave here and stick with them, so they know that you got the class, you got the course, and you're not on your own. Right. But as a whole, as small businesses as a whole, how can we work together to help each other build a stronger legacy, which they're trying to create within their business?
Yeah, I think it starts with a conscious effort, things like this. I think it's something that we have to decide as a community that we're going to do and make it a conscious effort to do it. That's the only way it's going to happen. And just in my humble opinion, I'll say, especially in our communities, I keep saying our, hopefully that makes sense, so that resonates what I'm saying, but especially in our community, I think it's just going to take an effort to say that I am going to shop local. I'm going to shop in my community. I'm going to find ways to put my dollars into these functions, into this community. And then as a small business owner, I am going to, and I do it all the time. I reach out. We have a business relationship. We have a partner relationship too. I reach out to small businesses and I say, how can we work together? Competitors, other web design agencies, I call them all the time and say, hey, what do you specialize in? We all say we do everything, but we're special at one thing.
That's
What's
right.
yours? Okay, here's mine.
Right.
Where can we work together? If I own, and I'm just being hypothetical, if I owned a bakery, I would be calling other small businesses, car dealerships, saying, hey, I want to bring some donuts in there. You're a small business. I'm a small business. Where can we, give me a couple of your products? Here's my products. How can we build this synergy? But I think that's a focused and deliberate effort that you have to make. And I think it would change things if we did that more, especially as we got more successful. It's easy when we're all trying to build up. So it's like, okay, I can work and I want to work with everybody. And then I get to a point where it's like, okay, now not so much. So I think that happens too. We outgrow the community, the business does, and all of a sudden it loses touch. So I think that's a problem sometimes as well.
So, Brewster, you and I have been doing what's happening now and with CNI Solutions for the last couple of weeks.
Right.
And viewers, what I want y'all to know, some of the things that we come up with and the content that we're bringing to you, we're trying to bring content, especially to those small business owners, those entrepreneurs, because let's face it, we are entrepreneur center, and that's what we teach. We teach you how to become a small business owner and how do you make that business to become successful. So each week we're going to do our part and try to bring you all in together into the fold, if you will, to help you grow your business, to help your business be better. If there's something that you're lacking, whether it be web design, we got small business people who work with us, like, hey, Tim, this person contacted me about web issues. Can you give them a call and talk to them? If you got videographer problems, we have graduates who came through here who do videographer, Drive Studios, excellent, they do it. If you're drawing flowers or if you need car details, we have that ecosystem that comes through CNI Solutions that we're able to help and spread that like this so that we can continue to build each other up and make your business strong. I know Bruce mentioned before, if there was some particular content that you want to know about or want to get involved on or want us to have someone speak on it, let us know. Put it in the comments. Let us know. You can shoot us an email to info@cnisolutions.org. You can give us a call here at the center, 256-459-6020. And we'll get your information and we will work with you, and Brewster and I will get together and we'll find that expert, that we need to help speak on that matter. But you can count on every Wednesday when we come to you, we're going to try to come to you with some content that's going to help you in your business or help you in your community or what's going on. Whether it might be on health equity, it might be on small business loans. It might be on where do I get my business license from, my EIN, whatever the case may be. We're going to have that so that we can help you get to where you're going. And just remember, this is what we do. We teach the class, 12-week course. Real soon we're going to have some more scholarships coming up, and these are going to be full scholarships, Brewster, I might add. So there's probably going to be like five full scholarships that we're going to have opening up here in the near future. So make sure you stay tuned here on our live because we're going to announce them when they are and when those classes are going to start. And that's something that for those who are, as we like to call them, that side hustle, you know, and you don't want to, you know, let go of that side hustle. But you will find once you start doing everything right, you ain't never got to look behind your back no more.
Right.
Like this, you can only look forward like this. And as you're looking forward, the only thing you're going to see is that return. And we're going to have that ecosystem within our community to help you continue to build that business and to make it grow.
Right. Hey, Charles, I see is it a question I see in the chat? It says, I was told that to gain more followers, the best thing to do is first delete all your current followers. Just to say have 5,000 followers, it does not reflect your sales. Is that is a no-brainer? So I don't know if that's so much a question, more or less a comment.
Yeah, if I'll speak on that. No, I don't know who told you to delete your current file. Absolutely not. The only caveat to that would be if you have 5,000 followers that you've bought, right? If you use some kind of black hat method to gain 5,000 followers, you bought them on a list. They're not really followers of your brand. Okay, yeah, get rid of them. That's garbage, right? But I don't care if you had a monkey babysitting business and you got 5,000 followers on this monkey babysitting business and now you want to go breed elephants. Don't get rid of your followers. Absolutely not. Just start talking about breeding elephants, build more elephant breeding followers. Maybe some of your monkey elephants go away, but that's fine. I cannot see any way that you delete followers in an effort to gain followers. That doesn't, again, unless, you know, or I guess there's other scenarios you can think of. If you have totally opposing views, if you, things like that, maybe if you are a Republican and then you want to go Democrat, you may want to do something like that, right? Because then all your 5,000 will start posting comments about how bad your content is, right?
Right.
But if it's not a shift like that of polar opposite directions, please don't get rid of your 5,000 followers. Explain to your followers the change and make it happen and keep those. And that's a jump start to your new list. So who told you that? I would love to hear some details. Maybe it's something we talk about, Kimberly. I'll reach out actually in this chat because that's very interesting that someone told you that.
So Tim, I was questioned the other week, how important is it for a small business to have a website?
Great question. I get it all the time. I should have a canned answer, but I will say this. 5 years ago, I would have said, absolutely necessary. You can't even, before you even have an idea, you have a website, right? That has changed. Social media has changed that. The different ways that you can get online have changed it. But this is what I'll say. Getting online, having a website and a domain is so cost effective, especially if you don't have anything, right? So we're going from nothing, a blank page right now, to having a domain, mybusiness.com, with a page and an email address is so cost effective that it should be done immediately. Because let me say this, that whenever you go to do business outside of your circle, so your mom and your brother and whenever you get beside that circle, your website becomes your number one marketing tool that every customer is going to look at. Right. They're going to go online and look at your business. So it's a tough one to ask. I don't know where you are in your business, but it's so cost effective. Figure out how to do it. I say early, as soon as you want to sell your idea to anyone outside of your mom or your dad, website. I think I'll say it like that.
Great. I know we're coming up on our time, our scheduled time to end. Brewster, do you have any closing remarks?
Yeah. Here we go with this notepad again. Hey, a couple of things. We've talked about like, shares, and comments. So I ask again, please, give us some likes. We appreciate it. If you like our content, and what we're doing. Comments are greatly appreciated, and share. We want to get this information into as many hands, as many homes as possible. Just continue to share. We have a goal in mind, and we have no plans to build a nonprofit empire and leave anyone behind. What we plan to do is to see how we can exponentially grow a system, an ecosystem that will support itself, okay? A system that is not based on just on handouts, but what we as a group, what we as a team can do. And I just think it is so much that goes through our hand and so much that goes through our communities that we can empower and do better, right? So remember, if you view this later on, please put in the comments where you're viewing from. That means a lot to us. We want to take a look at where you're viewing from and hopefully come up with some better ideas in order to serve each and every one of you that are out there. So that's really all I have. I have some other things that I'm going to put out to my class, actually.
All right, Tim, Mr. Rice, thank you for having us. Any closing remarks on your end, sir?
No, thank you for having me. It was fun. Hopefully, somebody got a nugget out of there. So something tells me I'm going to be back at this table for some reason. I'm going to make sure you guys see me again.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to make up a reason to give back. So
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate
We
it.
would definitely love to have you
Yeah.
back, especially as we get more comments and concerns yourself and web designs, because I know there's a lot of small businesses out there who are looking for web designers to help them get their website up and running, or just can give them some hits on that. So I know we'll definitely be able to have you back on that. So everyone, we appreciate you for tuning in tonight. Again, as Brewster said, make sure you like, share, and comment on this video. There could be someone out there who can use this information. And just remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night.
And we're clear. No. And we're clear.
So I'm going to walk around back right quick.